So back in the garage again, I'm working on the CX500 today. I've not had a chance to do much this week, but I can tell you what I have been doing. So, the hoop, where is that? Here. So I've been just refining the hoop a little bit, so that now is starting to fit a lot neater, as you can see. That sits nicely there, not so much on the other side. That needs to be filed down just a little bit more so that it sits a bit closer. But on this here, it's sitting really nice, and you can actually see the line now go from there. And there's a tiny bit of a kick up on the back there. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that yet or grind the bottom bit so that it goes a bit flatter. I need to see how the seat sits with this. And the other thing I've started to do as well is consider how I'm going to remount the shocks. Now, I don't think I'm going to tackle that quite yet until I've got the new shocks on, just to see how it's all going to sit and whereabouts I need to put the bolts. But the rough idea is that I use the old mounts, which are here, and let me show you. Here we have it. We have the hoop in place. So what I'm thinking is cutting it in a way that it bolts onto both the original frame and the new hoop. Reason being, this new hoop isn't going to be as structurally strong as this here, so I don't want to just put a tab on here and then wait for the force of the shocks to be pounding on that, and then before you know it, that's going to bend and come off and all sorts. So my thinking is, if I attach it on both sides like that, it's going to create that extra strength that I need to be safe. And also, it kind of carries on this line from the existing frame up to the back. So that's where we're at with that. But before I do any more work on that, I think that needs a lot more thinking before I start cutting and hacking away, and I need to measure and all sorts. And most importantly, as I said, I need the shocks to be here. So in the meanwhile, I've got the engine sorted out. It's still sat there from where we left it, along with the GS550 carbs. So I need to strip it down. There's a lot of parts that I need to take off it before I start cleaning it. So originally I was going to powder coat it. My thinking's kind of changed from there. This engine is sound as it is. It's had new piston rings on not too long ago, looking at all the receipts and everything that came with the bike. Compression is fine in this, so I'm kind of thinking, do I really need to go to the effort of stripping it all down, getting new seals, new gaskets, all sorts, just for the sake of powder coating it, whilst I can just clean it up, do a really good job, and then paint it as it is without dismantling. It'll make my life a heck of a lot easier. So we've got this to come off. That will be red. So this bit here will be powder coated, and that's going to look really nice. Just this little red brace coming around here. These, I'm not sure what colour these are going to be, whether I'm going to leave them black or red. That's for deciding later on. They need to come off. The pipes need to come off. This water pipe here, the starter needs to come off. The little badges, all sorts. So that's today's job, is stripping the engine and then giving it a bit of a clean. Joy. This can be sent off, sandblasted, and then powder coated, and it would look absolutely beautiful as it is. So here's a neat trick for getting the fan out. It's not the hardest things in the world to take out. When it wants to come out, it will. It's fitted on with a tapered bar or a tapered pole, and it's purely pressure that holds it on. What you'll see is that it's got a thread on the inside. So what you need is an M14 bolt. I don't have one lying there on the garage at the time being, but what I do have is the bar for the or the spindle for the front wheel, and that is an M14 thread. So, and then with the appropriate spanner, if you put your arm there to stop it and just screw it out, it will pop out like that. And that's the starter out. Bit of a bare wire there, so that's going to need sealing up. And so to start cleaning the engine now, you can do all sorts. You can aqua blast it if you want to. But I'm going to stick to good old elbow grease and use spray engine degreasant on it, let it soak, and then I'll come back in the next couple of days and just go around it with a toothbrush. One thing I did forget to take off was the Honda badges here. So I'll take those off now and keep them, polish them up, and then I can put them back on the bike afterwards once they're done. A bit of cleaning that up and that'll be as good as anything. I absolutely love this stuff. So just have a look here. This is honestly a few seconds that it's been on, and already it's just penetrating through everything and it's coming out brilliantly. So I don't think I'm even going to have to let that soak. Well, you kind of get the idea now that it's going to need a lot of cleaning, but already it's looking a heck of a lot better than what it did before. These have just come up really nice straight away. The rest of this needs a bit more attention, but it is coming off. It just needs soaking. There's so much dirt here. It's just a laborious process. So I'm not going to bore you by showing you the entire clean. That would be unfair of you to watch through it all unless you really want to, but I'm not going to put it up there anyway. So next time you'll see this engine, it'll be nice and clean and ready to be primed. Hopefully by then as well I'll have the shocks delivered for the CX500 here. In the meantime, I am waiting on delivery of POR 15 tank sealant as well for the GS550. So by the time the intake carbs have gone into that, the tank should be sorted and ready for a respray. So everything's moving along nicely. Stay up to date with this. Stay subscribed. As always, my Instagram account, there's a link on the video below here, always has updates on these bikes in between each video. So follow me on that, and I'll see you next week.